right, let's continue on to coding what happens when a new game has been started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to our number of guesses. We're going to affect that because we are checking an answer, which means we're logging in a guess. So I'm just going to say number of guesses is equal to number of guesses plus 1, which we could have also done like this, like we did previously, plus plus. But for the fact that this is a beginner's tutorial, let's just make it complete, a little bit more obvious and write it out like that. We're also going to make sure that our number of guesses, oh no, I think it was called, we called it guesses label. That our guess label, here we go, label.text field is going to be equal to a string, and that's going to just say number of guesses, and that's going to be equal our placeholder backslash open and close parentheses. Well, what's going in there? Well, our number of guesses. All right. So we're logging in. We're adding the number of guesses because we hit the check answer button, which means we've logging in a guess. And our guess label.text is showing that increase. So a new game has been started. We're increasing our guess and showing that. Let's type in, or let's code in what happens when it's the correct answer. So we're going to say if guess field dot text, that means somebody, the property or whatever's written into the guess field is equal to correct answer. There we go. Come on. Well, sometimes that autocorrect gets a little ambitious. If whatever was typed in is equal to the value that we are holding in our correct answer, well, let's do another alert. So I'm going to say alert. You know what? You could copy and paste all this, but I really strongly advise you against it. It's so much easier and it's so much better and a more efficient way to learn how to code when you actually type in stuff. This way, if you forget something, it doesn't automatically type up. You understand where your problems are going to be. So please take a minute and just type it all back in. So let alert is going to be a UI alert. Controller, open parentheses, title, and we're going to say congratulations. And then the message string is like, you guessed it. Preferred style is our dot alert. And that looks good. Now, let's go back and add a button because the alert's coming out. Now we need to do something to dismiss it. So I'm going to say let OK action, just like we've done before, is equal to UI action. I'm sorry, alert action. Open parentheses, title. And we're going to say, let's see, OK. Style is dot default. And let's double tap on our, oh, you know what? Says congratulations, you guessed it. Let's say, do you want to play again? Do you want to play again? There, that kind of prompts them to go ahead and play again. Okay, so our OK action, and then we're going to double type into our handler. Where it's highlighted here, we type in the word action. Void in, here's our block of code if we wanted something to happen. However, we don't want anything to happen. We just want them to go back to the game. So just hit that and to clear that. That's great. Now, let's go ahead and add that action to our alert. And finally, we need to present the view controller. What do we call it? We called it alert. And we're going to animate it. True and, mirror. True. And then completion is nil. Okay, great. That handles if we get the correct answer. So let's give that a shot. Let's go ahead and see what happens right now. Okay, let's check this out. Start a new game. The answer is boat. I'm just going to magically type in the correct answer. Check my answer. It says, congratulations. Do you want to play again? Sure, why not? And hit OK. And it sets it all back up again. Okay, let's turn this off. We know this is working great. I'm going to get rid of this console because I just want a little bit more space. In order to do that, I'm just going to go up here to the second button from the right. Shut that pane down. Okay, we got a new game started. If it's correct, we're running this bit of code. Now, if the user guessed it in the first try, I'm going to increase the score by 10. If the user gets it in 2 tries, I'm going to increase the score by 5. 3 tries, I'm going to increase the score by 1. 4 tries, I'm sorry, you're getting nothing. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so I'm still within the correct answer down here, okay? Do not get out of this one. So basically, just go to the end of the present view controller and give yourself some space and say, if number of guesses is equal to 1, because we're comparing the value, and we're going to get down here. I'm going to say score is equal to score plus 1. Good enough. Then, or else, I'm going to say else if number of guesses is equal to 2. I'm going to run this bit of code. And what is that code? Well, I'm going to increase the score by, what did I say? Oh, no, wait. I want to increase the score by 10 because they guessed it in 1. That's awesome. So if they guessed it in 2 guesses, I'm going to say score equals score plus 5. And then I'm going to say else if number of guesses is equal to 2. We're going to run this bit of code, and let me make the spacing a little bit more consistent. And what are we going to do? You guessed it. We're going to say score is equal to score plus 1. And we're not going to give them any points if they didn't guess it and it took them 4 tries, because what's the point of the game? Okay, so that looks great. Let's give this a shot. Everything should be running fine, and let's test it out. So I'm going to play a new game. Tree is the answer. I'm going to pretend I don't know that, and I'm just going to say boat. I'm going to check my answer. There's a few things we need to do. We need to dismiss this keyboard because we can't see our message that says wrong message, but we haven't even coded that yet. So let's just take care of what we can see. So we got a games played is 1 and number of guesses is 2. So let's try again. We're going to clear this out. Actually, we're going to hit delete. We're going to fix that as well. Let's call tree, check answer. Boom, congratulations. Do you want to play again? Okay. So we need to change the label in the score to say, hey, give me those 5 points. And all that other good stuff. So let's continue on. So we're still within the correct answer. All of this code is something that we need to do when the answer is correct. But it's always good to run your code every now and then. So what we want to do is, remember I had this label and I called it answer label. Well, that was at the bottom. What I want that to say is I just wanted to only show up if the answer is wrong. And we're going to say, oh, wrong answer. So what I want to do is just say answer label.text is going to be equal to a blank string. I don't want that to say anything because we're going to pop up with a label that says, or the alert that says, congratulations. However, I do want our score label .text to say in our string score, no, get rid of that, colon, backslash score, and that's going to fill in whatever is in our score variable. Okay, so that's going to show up at the bottom of that. So we need, I think this is called score label actually. Yes, it is. We have the guess label being written up here, which is fine. I could have moved it down here, but we'll just leave it up there because every time it's hit, I want it to be registered, whether it's wrong or incorrect. So we're going to say answer label is going to be blank. Our score label.text, we've got that all set. Now, what we want to do is we've got our correct answer. So next time we want to play the game, let's reset our correct answer variable back to an empty string so that it clears it and we're ready to play a new game. As well, we're going to set our number of guesses variable back to 0. So after we know that it's correct and we've been awarded with our pop-up and we've been scored, let's we're not going to say anything in the answer label. We're going to wait for that to code that when something is wrong. Update our score label. And now we know we've had the correct answer. Let's reset it back to 0 and reset number of guesses back to 0. Okay, all is well. Now, in the next video, we're going to go over what happens when you get the wrong answer. We're also going to have a few housekeeping issues that we need to do. So we'll get to that soon.